Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of the Mindful Addict with Darren Ford. Today we're going to talk about the dreaded physical activity. This is the one that everybody knows they need to do, whether they're an addict or in recovery or not, but that everybody has a really hard time doing. And it certainly hasn't gotten easier with the whole pandemic going on, right? Because then it makes it harder to leave your house, to go to a gym or do anything like that. And so what we're going to do is talk about some... Sorry, my dog Amos is having a wonderful time in the background. What we're going to do today is talk about some very practical, easy steps that you can take to start to invite physical activity into your life. You know, recent studies have shown that physical activity is the single best thing you can do for your mental health. So the idea here is that physical activity is what is needed to help regulate your emotions. It's what's needed to help regulate your energy levels. It's what's needed also to help you gain a mindful relationship to discomfort, because when you exercise vigorously, of course, the discomfort in your body increases, and so then you have to, take a few breaths and learn how to relate to your body's discomfort in a more compassionate manner and a less fixated manner. Now I get it. The mind will, say, "Oh yeah, I've heard it all before, right? Diet and exercise, blah blah blah," and that's fair. That's fair. We're not talking about, running a marathon here. I mean, if you want to run a marathon, that's great. I haven't gotten there yet. I've been trying for a couple of years now, but I haven't made it. But you can do that if you want to. However, you don't need to do that. And we slowly work up to the 30 minutes to 40 minutes of exercise. And, if you can do that a few times a week, that's great. However, it just starts with 5 minutes, right? I recently got some push-up bars and one of those ab rollers. And, to be quite honest with you, I'm being very vulnerable right now. I could do about, 5 to 10 push-ups, and that's about it. I mean, I can run a 7.5 minute mile, but I cannot do any push-ups. However, I just started with, a 5 minute doing the push-ups and then doing my ab roller, and that's it. Like I was done, right? And I was sore. I was really sore for several days, actually. So I didn't do it again. I waited. And then when I started to feel better, I do it again, right? And each time as you do that, over time, you just build on it. There's no rush here. There's no, you have to be a person, you have to hire a personal trainer or be an athlete. I mean, you do whatever is comfortable to you. The important thing is doing it, is just taking some time to relate to this body in a way that, creates some sort of physical exertion, right? Some increased heart rate. Now, of course, I say this with a disclaimer. I'm not a personal trainer. I'm not, I'm not an expert in physical activity. Check with your doctor, do all of those things if you have any type of medical conditions. However, we have to find a way to create some sort of physical activity in our life. It is an absolute must. It's one of the 8 domains of recovery, and it's something that we need to do. When the pandemic happened and, we got all of the gyms got closed down, my partner and I were unable to go to the gym anymore. And, I run. And so I run on a treadmill. I can't run outside. I will be a lobster because we live down in Long Beach, so it would not be pretty after I ran for an hour or two out in the sun. So we really had to hunker down and come to a decision, and we bought a treadmill. Now, we couldn't afford a treadmill. That's not something that, I think anybody can really, there's a lot of other areas I could spend that money on. However, it is so important that money had to be spent on a treadmill because physical activity is dreadfully important for our mental health and for our recovery. I'm not saying you have to go buy a treadmill. No, you don't. What I'm trying to help you see is that whatever you can do, you need to do, and you need to make the commitment to it. We need to be as obsessed with the 8 domains of recovery as we were about getting the object of our obsession when we were in addiction, okay? And so this is one of those 8 domains. In the long run, you'll feel so much better. In the short run, yes, it's hard. No, you don't have to be an athlete. And how do you work with the mind? Well, of course, the mind's going to project all kinds of hypotheses, right? The mind's going to say, oh, we'll start tomorrow. The mind's going to say, oh, it's too hard. Oh, this is stupid. The mind's going to say all kinds of stuff, right? That's okay. The mind, right, does what it knows. It doesn't do what it needs. It's up to our focus to create a habit in the mind that is what we need, right, or what the mind needs. And so when we see those negative, there's my wonderful Amos again. When we see those negative constructs, we just recognize them. We come back to breath, right? That's the beginning of the process of learning how to be present with the discomfort, but not react to the discomfort. So physical activity, whatever you like to do. If you like bike riding, if you like jogging, if you like, jumping jacks, it doesn't matter. It just needs to be something. Find your voice in physical activity. Find your niche in physical activity and embrace it, right? Be experimental. Be curious, right? And embrace the idea that this body, right, which is, a manifestation of our mind, is needed for us to be present in this universe. And so we need to exercise it. That's all there is to it. So I hope that this didn't come across as like this, because that's not what this was. This was just a gentle, encouraging brief discussion about how to invite physical activity into your life, because it is very necessary. All right, thank you so much. Continue to be gentle with yourself. Never forget that we take recovery one moment, one breath at a time. And soon we'll be having some people on for interviews, so I'm excited about that. Take good care. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.